I said that I thought we were going to have a mainly dry weekend across England and Wales, but the models were split about what was going to happen on Sunday. Some of the models were showing a very deep area of low pressure coming up from the south, containing some of the humid remains of tropical storm Nadine, ex-hurricane Nadine I should say. Other models wanted to keep an area of high pressure going across England and Wales and keep it mainly dry on Sunday. Well, now the models have come into agreement. It looks though we are going to see that very deep area of low pressure moving up from the south, so it does look as though Sunday could be a real washout, and I'm going to explain why in this video. So this is where we're going to start. This is the situation tomorrow. This deep area of low pressure here sitting over the Azores, that is the remains of ex-hurricane Nadine. Now, as I run through these charts, I just want you to keep an eye on this area here, off to the east or the northeast of Nadine, around this kink in the isobars here, because this is an area of low pressure being spawned off Nadine. This is using the energy associated with Nadine, wrapped around Nadine, to form another area of low pressure around this area here, where we've got the warm air coming up from Nadine, the humid air associated with Nadine coming up against the cooler air in the northern Atlantic. So this is sort of tropical origin air around here. It is part of the tropical Atlantic, of course, the Azores, and this is associating or battling really against much cooler air from the cooler part of the Atlantic, and it's forming this secondary area of low pressure. And then as we go through in towards the end of Friday, we have got this area of low pressure forming. This is midnight actually on Saturday. We've got this area of low pressure forming here off the coast of Portugal. It's not actually Hurricane Nadine itself, this area of low pressure, but it is associated with Hurricane Nadine. It's using the energy from Nadine. So if we have a look at the upper air temperatures, again, this is for the start of tomorrow morning, and there is the remains of Nadine down there over the Azores. Running through the charts, we can see how the energy from Nadine, the warm tropical air, is forming this secondary area of low pressure. And then we've got a proper area of low pressure forming there in the Atlantic, off the main area of low pressure, but still over the Azores once we get through to the end of tomorrow. So this is what the models have been struggling with, really. They've been struggling to decide whether this secondary area of low pressure is going to form, and if it does form, whether it will get caught up in the jet stream and move up towards us. The models have been having a real nightmare trying to model this pattern, but I think they have now got it, and it does look as though this area of low pressure is going to form, and it's going to move towards us. Now, you're going to be hearing quite a lot in the coming few days about how we're being impacted by Hurricane Nadine, ex-Hurricane Nadine. That's not quite right. As I say, the actual hurricane itself is staying down over the Azores. The remains of the hurricane itself staying down over the Azores. We're being impacted by a secondary feature that's really using the energy from Nadine to form that area of low pressure. So seeing how this impacts us, this is the situation at midnight on Sunday. There's the low pressure, the secondary low pressure formed down to the southwest approaches. And if we run through the GFS charts, we can see that low pressure is going to intensify as it moves up towards us through the course of Sunday, bringing some really heavy rain, tightly packed isobars wrapped around this area of low pressure as well, so it'll be very windy. And there's the horrendous looking chart that we've got from the GFS model this morning for 6 o'clock in the evening on Sunday, 23rd of September. 990 millibar area of low pressure sitting right across southern England. The isobars are tightly packed, wrapped around that, so we've got gales up to the north, and that low pressure is bringing a lot of very heavy rain because it's got the tropical origin air that's really feeding into that area of low pressure. So a lot of energy with this. Is the precipitation forecast from the GFS model. Really heavy rain there at midnight on Sunday down to the southwest, torrential rain moving northwards, and that is going to push northwards if this morning's GFS is right. It comes northwards through the course of Sunday morning, and then the really heavy rain really sits across England and Wales all day on Sunday. So there is the potential for some atrocious weather on Sunday. Some really torrential rain, giving high rainfall totals, obviously a risk of flooding. Could be looking at anything up to 50 millimetres, 2 inches of rain, I would think. with this. It's going to be cold as well on the northern side of that low pressure. Despite that, we've got tropical air feeding the low pressure. That's really going through France. We've got very warm air down there, but for us, we're on the cold side of the low pressure motor, so it will be very, very cold and wet on Sunday, with temperatures maybe not getting up to 10 Celsius, or maybe staying below 10 Celsius. That's very cold for September. And just show another models are agreeing with this. This morning's a Met Office forecast. There's below pressure there at midnight on Monday, so that's come up from the south, and it's sitting there across southern England. So again, that's very wet, really, for much of England and Wales. And then that low pressure moves up in towards the southern North Sea as we go into Tuesday. The Met Office model actually has that low pressure hanging around for quite a few days. If we have a look at the ECMWF, this is the chart for midnight on Sunday. We've got a little transient ridge there across the country, but there's the low pressure forming down to the southwest of the country, going forward 24 hours by midnight on Monday. That low pressure is sitting there across southern England. So again, this is taking very heavy rain up across the country through the course of Sunday. The ECMWF coming into agreement with this, I think, is one of the key developments of the day. And this is the Canadian model for GEM. We've got the low pressure again down to the south of the country, more towards the Bay of Biscay at midnight on Sunday, but it's still coming northwards. If we go through the GEM, we can see that by midnight on Monday, so this is going on 24 hours, that low pressure then is sitting there across East Anglia, southeastern, just off the coast of East Anglia, southeastern England. It's in a very slightly different position to the GFS, but the idea is the same, which is for the low pressure to come up from the south through Sunday and give England, Wales in particular, a very, very wet day with the risk of torrential rain, and also the chance of flooding. Obviously with that, it will be very cold and windy on the northern and eastern side of that low pressure, with temperatures possibly staying below 10 Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit all day on Sunday. So an atrocious spell of weather possibly on the way for Sunday. Now, this isn't quite a done deal yet, because the models have only just come into line. They may do another flip and go back towards the earlier scenario, which is keeping it mainly dry through Sunday. But I think they've got it now. I think they've got the pattern. I think this will be the pattern for Sunday, with this big area of low pressure coming up from the south. But I'll keep you updated. We'll have a look again tomorrow. It may change. I don't think it will, but it might change, because, as I said, models have only just come into line. So as it stands now, a very wet and cold day coming up for Sunday. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.